Welcome to the drive to Hershey. Sweetest place on earth. That's what we call it. Lots of traffic today, so that'll afford us an extra couple minutes to talk about why the once anonymous Q, which has now pretty much been outed as David Joseph Hayes, aka Praying Medic. Why is QAnon spending another day after we mocked them relentlessly mock these morons who are hiding behind what they think is an anonymous Q clearance military intelligence agent? Now, what are the chances that QAnon is of any importance at all to the administration? That's the chance right there. Zero. I mean, each time they are provoked, they slip out. I don't want to give too much away because I'm not by any means done provoking them. But if you don't know the game or the rules of the game that you're playing, how do you expect to win? How do you expect to win? Okay, well, I don't need to go into any Sun Tzu here. I don't need to go into any von Clausewitz diatribe to tell you how easy it is to not only split their little tribal components that are comprised of Q, but you'll watch them scurry to protect their own assets and interests, which are not always going to be inclusive in nature. So you identify your individuals that make up the LARP, of which we're sure we have 75% of the group. There's one or two people that we're not quite certain if they contribute to the actual drops or not. Doesn't matter. That anyone who is making the money in their own unique way, once that is threatened, they will all turn on each other. And I can tell you right now, with this second drop against the MAGA Coalition, David Joseph Hayes is pushing his luck with the rest of the crowd. Now, Coleman and his wife and the Patriot Soapbox crowd are more than happy to go along to get along with a baker like Praying Medic. The problem is Medic is so thin-skinned, so concerned, so aware of what he set up as a ministry, being not affiliated whatsoever with anything religious in nature, is in fact a pretty serious crime in the eyes of the Internal Revenue Service. As I have explained before, they seem to be very confused. So Coleman's worried about it. Pamphlet and on is aka Coleman Rogers and his wife were another set of people that were broke, destitute, tax liens, foreclosures, living in their parents' basement, all of a sudden buying new houses, new cars, new equipment. $99 to themselves. Do you think they're filling out any W-4s? What they don't understand, and this is like, forget all that shit. Forget all the human drama of how easy it is to manipulate these people. The real funny part here is this Q drop again. It's on my timeline. Go ahead and check it out. So Q is now saying, on the heels of last night's threat, David Joseph Hayes is attempting to threaten myself and others in the MAGA Coalition to back off, or they will unleash all the 8chan Anons against us, which I think is pretty funny because if you just do a quick cursory search, the 4chan, 8chan Anons absolutely mock them ruthlessly. He is a fucking normie to them. He is a scamster. The words they call him, I will not repeat on here because I think I would be suspended. I'm not concerned that any Anons are going to come snooping in my garbage. Well, go ahead and do that if you want. I'm quite a transparent guy. So how do we know QAnon is not populated by anyone who knows anything about the government? Well, all they do is sniff around and try to take information from various Twitter accounts. And then what they do is they prognosticate about 12 different things on a weekly basis, hoping that one of them will come to fruition within 3 months. And then that'll be composed into what they call a Q proof, which is usually just nonsensical, circumstantial stuff that just blows your mind. So I'm going to reveal to you right now why Q is not an intelligence officer and that there is no intelligence officer involved. Matter of fact, I'm going to reveal to you right now, as a result of the last QAnon drop against MAGA Coalition, I'm going to reveal to you why QAnon doesn't have any intelligence whatsoever. QAnon attacks a registered FEC registered, that's the Federal Election Commission registered PAC, which you can find by going to FEC.gov. Search MAGA Coalition. It's no secret. It can't be a secret. By virtue of registering as such, we are an unauthorized PAC. And for the Bill Mitchells of the world who are so stupid that they thought unauthorized meant like something bad, unauthorized means you are not aligned with a particular candidate, any candidate. So anything that's not a candidate's own political action committee, like the president's re-election campaign is a political action committee that's authorized by him. America First, the largest political action committee raising money for his re-election, is considered an unauthorized political action committee. As such are we. We have lawyers, obviously. We have accountants. You can see by who we list as itemized expenditures too. We are not personally liable for whatever it is that they think that they're accusing us of. We are corporate officers. So you're accusing the MAGA Coalition. You're accusing me as a corporate officer. You're accusing Ginger McQueen as a corporate officer or Glenn Herman as a corporate officer. There is no one else in MAGA Coalition. There is no one else that it's a board. It's a corporate board protected by corporate rights. We are not personally liable for whatever it is you think that we did. However, if the FEC found one thing that was out of order, we will be notified. We will be notified first by letter. Our lawyer, our accountant will be notified, and we will have a certain period of time to rectify it, or we will receive an FEC fine. Why hasn't that happened? Why hasn't that happened? Now, if QAnon, or anyone related to Q, or anyone even remotely close to the president, wanted to snuff out the MAGA Coalition tomorrow with one phone call to an FEC commissioner, it would be done. It is that easy. It would be done. They would comb through, find a decimal point off, and it would be over. They would fine us for whatever amount of money we had left. Boom, we're gone. We're under the rug, and now it's Adam Gingrich, the person, not Adam Gingrich, the president of the MAGA Coalition anymore. It's that easy. But QAnon, for the second time, confuses the whole process. QAnon doesn't even know the difference between the FEC and the IRS. So anyone listed in our FEC forms as an independent expenditure, including Threat Knowledge LLC, owned by Catherine Gorka, Mrs. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, those are payments, you morons. And we did not, if you learned how to read, we did not pay Sebastian Gorka $60,000. That is an incorrect assertion, which is kind of funny because I don't think a military intelligence officer of any grade whatsoever would miss that or not be able to read a filing. We did not, I repeat, did not compensate. When all is said and done, We did not compensate Sebastian Gorka $60,000. That is an incorrect assertion, even including the expenses that were incurred. Why would an intelligence officer not be able to get that detail right? And why would an intelligence officer link the IRS complaint form to a PAC? It doesn't make any sense. The IRS would not be involved. The IRS would go after anyone that was an itemized expenditure, i.e. we gave money to, and perhaps if they didn't file the taxes after we provided the 1099 to them, that's on them. That is on them. There is no 1099s for a Ginger McQueen or a Glenn Herman. Do you know why? Because they don't take any money at all for this PAC. So how is complaining to the IRS going to in any way endanger a federally registered freaking nonprofit? It is so dumb. I really, really, really did not think cracking this egg was going to be so easy. Now, for all the world to see, it wasn't just that they were wrong so many times about Hillary Clinton not being arrested. Her passport is fine. Podesta's passport is fine. He's never been arrested. He's cruising around the world. They're all cruising around the world. December 5th, 2018 was supposed to be the grand reveal of Q. It passed without fanfare, so they had decided to say that they suicided George Herbert Walker Bush at the tender young age of like 94 or some damn thing. Q is so ridiculous. Mocking it requires so little effort that it's now become boring. So whatever this tough nut to crack has now attacked the MAGA Coalition twice. But they've attacked it in a way that just proves that they have no idea what they're talking about. They have absolutely no idea. And it's the love dumpling. It's the thin-skinned love dumpling who knows he set up a sham board, calling it a nonprofit ministry. Now he's scrambling to infuse religiosity into this thing real quick because he is trying to decode what is ostensibly, he's positing this to you as military intelligence, highest level military intelligence being leaked through an anonymous board called 8chan, which, by the way, if you believe any of that stuff, then you probably need to have your head examined. But he is making that assertion to people without the disclaimer that this is just a myth that he's up to. Probably not a good look. I don't know. Of a letter from the IRS because he wouldn't down. So now here's the problem for Coleman Rogers, aka Pamphlet Anon, and others. See, their cash box is the Patriot soapbox. See, that's their fare box. That's where they get their money. By flipping out about his own liabilities, David Joseph Hayes, praying medic, has exposed the IRS's interest into what Coleman Rogers has done and his wife. Properties purchased, right down to a freaking computer, a car, a home, doesn't matter. It can all be itemized. These are all transactional things. So unless you've really done your Bitcoin work, boys, the IRS will comb through it. Now, the IRS does not get involved with the FEC. And anyone who's ever done anything in government knows that. The IRS will get involved if you're compensating yourself from a PAC and you are not reporting that income in taxes to the IRS. That the IRS will be interested in. But the IRS would check with the FEC before pursuing that. So linking the IRS at the top of the Q drop proves that not only is it not someone from the military intelligence community, It is someone from the non-intelligence community in general, like not intelligent, as in stupid. As in stupid. Many people have attempted to prove that Q is a LARP. Many have tried, and practically in my sleep, it has been exposed. Practically in my sleep, it has been exposed after, let's just say, the jar was loosened by Ginger McQueen, who has steadfastly pointed out all the flaws in the logic of QAnon. Little did we know that humble little pack, MAGA Coalition, would bring about the ruins of QAnon. They will struggle now to shut Dave up. Guarantee they got on a phone call on their little encrypted phones or whatever they have going on, or a little Discord chat. And they're like, listen, dude, I know you got beef with these people. I know you go way back with them, but you're exposing all of us. You're exposing all of us, and we don't need it. That's what's happening right now. Right now, there's an internal little struggle that could very easily turn into a separating of ways. You can thank David Joseph Hayes for that. He is so thin-skinned. It is unbelievable. So he gets on with Bill Mitchell last night, openly, brazenly threatening Dr. Gorka and the MAGA Coalition board, which is myself, Ginger, and Glenn, openly threatening us, thinking that by dropping a disclaimer of this is not a threat. Okay, as we've explained before, as far as law enforcement is concerned, or anyone's concerned, Twitter TOS issues, merely saying this is not a threat and then subsequently threatening someone doesn't absolve you of any responsibility on that. I'm not quite sure why you would think so, because obviously you're an incompetent person. You have limited faculties. Bill Mitchell is a desperate person. Praying Medic is a desperate person. Ann Vandersteel is a desperate person. Brendan Dilley is a desperate person. How do I know all this stuff? I've known them for 2 freaking years. I know everything about them. And at one point, they all said that I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I have them all on video saying I am the greatest thing since sliced bread, which I don't agree with. I think I'm just a regular humble guy from PA. All of them, at one time or another, in writing, through Telegram, and on video, through podcasts, have said, no one knows their shit better than I do. And I appreciate them saying that. So it's kind of funny that because I turned down my chance to get a bite at some kind of weird animal on Reddit and 4chan, because I didn't want to do anything like that, I've been nothing but attacked and maligned by these people for the last year. All of a sudden, I'm a shill who doesn't know what's going on. Don't you find that to be a little bit ironic? Don't you find it a little bit ironic that QAnon now is attacking the MAGA Coalition? Don't you find it interesting that Bill Mitchell, all of a sudden, unannounced, the day of a Q drop against us yesterday, decides he's going to have Praying Medic on? Hey guys, we're going to talk about Q tonight, where we're going to be all sly and try not to say MAGA Coalition's name out loud, or Gorka's name out loud, and we're going to threaten them. Hey guys, I got a great idea. Let's do that, and then let's drop another QAnon drop today against the MAGA Coalition. And make it even better by linking the IRS, you effing morons. We are registered with the FEC. If we had a complaint with the FEC or a fine with the FEC, it would be listed on the FEC website. Matter of fact, I would be glad to share it with you. FEC Information Office, and request even more information about how we operate. Quite frankly, I would embrace it. I know Glenn Herman would embrace it. Put a lot of work into doing it right. I know our accountant would embrace it, and I know our lawyer would embrace it. We will embrace it. Whatever you would like to know, we will tell you. We have no paid staff. As of right now, everything about the MAGA Coalition, right now, nobody's making any money. Nobody. The accountant is. Lawyer works off a retainer. We still haven't spent all that money off the retainer. We switched over all the expensive software technologies over to, ironclad, personally overseen servers, because we have been under a DDoS attack for the last 36 hours by Q people. Why is Q so afraid? Yes, Ginger is not the accountant, you effing morons. Ginger is the treasurer. Ginger's the treasurer, and she doesn't receive a salary in any form. Our accountant is a professional political action committee accountant who does this for a living. What don't you understand about any of this, Q? Q, how dumb are you? Q, you are so stupid. How easy would it be if you wanted to make our fucking PAC look shady? You could have done it. Instead, you picked up on some very, very, very shoddy detective work by Brian Def Cates, a.k.a. Draw and Strike, a.k.a. Stealth Jeff, a.k.a. Reagan Battalion blogger, a.k.a. Never Trumper, saying that some guy, an event planner, got $60,000. Isn't it ironic that they're saying some guy, some event planner for the Trump Hotel event got all this money? No, he didn't. That's the money that he paid the Trump Hotel. So you realize we had the Grand Ballroom at the Trump Hotel? The Grand Ballroom. You realize that we also had a private VIP with Sarah Palin and Diamond and Silk in the president's penthouse lower living quarters, and a VIP room upstairs for a VVIP meet and greet with Sarah Palin. Do you know how much money that costs? Do you know how much money that costs? Yet, if you look at our FEC report, there's no money going to Trump Hotel. So what are you saying? What they're saying is the Trump Hotel is involved in conspiracy to commit fraud. When in actuality, we have all the invoices from the Trump Hotel that match up exactly with what our event planner submitted as per our orders, because the FEC has all that information. There's not one dime out of whack. Not one dime out of whack. Matter of fact, I think our event planner lost money in order to conduct this event because he loves Trump, and that's great. I don't really know the guy personally. I know he did Corey Lewandowski and David Bossi's book event at the Trump Hotel. I know that he knew the general manager at the Trump Hotel. That's all I know. Everything else was handled between Glenn Herman, Trump Hotel, the event planner, and the FEC. Don't you get it, people? It's ironclad. You cannot scam anyone. There's no overpayment of invoices. Unless you're saying that our two largest expenditures, which in this case would be the Sarah Palin event at Trump International and Sebastian Gorka as our chief strategist. Unless you are saying that Sebastian Gorka took $60,000, which is what they're saying, and that's wrong. That's not even a correct amount, but they don't know how to read the report. They must be saying that we took some of that back as a kickback. So they're saying, I guess we gave Sebastian Gorka money on the record, and then he kicked it back to us off the record. That's what they're saying. Overpayments. Well, now you're accusing Sebastian Gorka of conspiracy to commit fraud and tax evasion, probably. Wow. QAnon is accusing Sebastian Gorka of conspiracy to commit fraud and tax evasion. That's a pretty serious thing to accuse the former advisor to the President of the United States of conspiracy to commit fraud and tax evasion. And it's another thing to accuse Trump International Hotel of conspiracy to commit fraud, which is what it would be to over-report invoices and kick back money to someone, anyone, when it is a federally registered nonprofit. So QAnon has now successfully accused Dr. Sebastian Gorka and the Trump organization, i.e. Don Jr., Eric Trump, of conspiracy to commit fraud, all through the little tiny, humble MAGA Coalition. Wow. Holy mackerel. How important is the MAGA Coalition in time? We might be the Achilles heel. We're so big, and we must be so criminally liable that it could bring down a former senior advisor to the President of the United States, who has a nationally syndicated radio program on Sinclair Broadcasting. We could bring down, apparently, we are a criminal conspiracy to bring down the Trump organization itself. QAnon is saying that little MAGA coalition is potentially going to bring down the Trump organization for conspiracy to commit fraud and bring down the former senior advisor, Sebastian Gorka, to the president with tax evasion and conspiracy to commit fraud. That's big, big news. This is huge. This is huge. MAGA Coalition, the little tiny engine that could, apparently is involved in very high-level conspiracies. Very high levels. This could touch the presidency. This could be that John Dean moment where Cipollone has to go into the White House Oval Office and say to Donald Trump, Mr. President, there is a cancer on the presidency and it is growing. This must be that moment where Cipollone has to go into the Oval Office and say, Mr. President, I've got terrible news. It's spinning out of control. I don't know how much more we can cover for what's going on. QAnon has uncovered the conspiracy with MAGA Coalition. They've uncovered the invoices that just don't exist with the Trump International Hotel. They've uncovered it all. They've uncovered it because, Mr. President, their PAC name was MAGA Coalition, so they're asserting the fact that the event planner stole all the money, which means the Trump International Hotel gave them the use of your private penthouse quarters for a fundraiser, your grand ballroom, and all of the amenities that went with it, food and liquor and such. They're saying that was illegally given without being recorded by the coalition to the FEC. Mr. President, there's a cancer on the presidency and it is growing. That's the John Dean moment, apparently. Apparently the MAGA coalition could bring down the presidency. This is huge, people. According to QAnon, Dr. Sebastian Gorka and his wife will be put under investigation by the Federal Election Commission, by the IRS, and potentially the FBI for engaging in conspiracy to commit fraud with the MAGA Coalition. That is what QAnon is saying. QAnon is also saying that an event planner was paid $60,000 and ran off with the money. Therefore, all the video and photographic evidence that we have of our event with Sarah Palin, Diamond and Silk, which was attended, by the way, by Katrina Pearson of the 2020 campaign to re-elect the president as well, means that the Trump International must have given us all those amenities and rooms and not billed us, which would be a violation of the FEC and potentially violate the emoluments clause. This could get the president of the United States impeached. Do you understand how big of a deal this is? You understand how big of it? Yeah, we're working with Obama. You're an idiot. QAnon has attacked the MAGA Coalition twice. The QAnon has said the following. The MAGA Coalition is engaged in fraud, overpayments of invoices, kickbacks. They have doxed Mrs. Sebastian Gorka, Catherine Gorka. They have doxed their home. They have doxed their home, which was the home office of the LLC, Threat Knowledge LLC. They have incorrectly asserted that Dr. Gorka was in receipt of $60,000, which is incorrect because they can't read the FEC reports. They have claimed that someone running Platinum Enterprises was paid $60,000 and ran away with it or kicked back some of it to us in a conspiracy, which means Trump Hotel did not receive money for the use of their grand ballroom, the president's private penthouse quarters, and other suites that were utilized, or all of the wine, beer, and food that were involved for the 200 plus people, which is a huge conspiracy because now the Trump International Hotel and the Trump Organization itself, right up to Don Jr. and Eric Trump, must be criminally liable along with myself and the MAGA Coalition. This is really big stuff. This is huge. QAnon has exposed the MAGA Coalition. By exposing MAGA Coalition, they are exposing Sebastian Gorka and the Trump Organization for what apparently looks like widespread conspiracy to commit fraud. So that means that there will invariably, there will have to be a full-scale Federal Election Commission investigation into us and anyone who received any funds from us. I don't know how that's going to go. Apparently the IRS, because QAnon has linked the IRS tip line while attacking us, the IRS is getting a lot of calls about a federally registered PAC, and they are probably responding to the people. How stupid are you? You're calling the IRS. You should be calling the FEC. You're a moron. QAnon. It shouldn't be this easy. It shouldn't be this easy. It should not have been this easy. There's no way back. There's no way back from this. I mean, there's no way back from this. There's no way back from it. It's over. QAnon. It's over. QAnon is a little group of people grifting their little hearts away because they know the time is running out. Pragmatic broke it all down. Pragmatic was the weak link all along. Didn't take us much to figure that out. way more devastating than Coleman Rogers accidentally using his own trip code while he's filming himself. Way more devastating than them being wrong about every literal thing that they predict. In the end, it was Glenn Herman's little love dumpling, David Joseph Hayes, who just got out of his lane. Just got out of his lane and ruined it. He ruined it for Coleman and his wife and all the little Patriot soapbox people who were trying like hell to scrape some nickels and dimes out of the boomers. QAnon attacks MAGA Coalition in 2 successive days. In between the shit sandwich, old love dumpling praying medic goes on Bill Mitchell's show to drag him down with the ship, threatening Sebastian Gorka and MAGA Coalition with 8chan attacks, which is really smart considering that the federal government is already investigating 8chan for the New Zealand shooting. And there's already a guy sitting in jail in New York for whacking a Gambino mob boss, telling his lawyers about his interest on the internet. What will that yield? Oh, something far more interesting than Q even knows. We are so far ahead of QAnon. QAnon is something that we now will abuse and mock in our own spare time because it's getting bigger than that. QAnon is already flamed out. It's already over. There's nothing there. They have nothing left. So QAnon's been exposed. That really wasn't even that hard for us to do. Now we expose how it was done, who all the actors are, where the money came from, how was it reported, was it not reported? Is the MAGA Coalition going to back down in the face of threats from Praying Medic and his QAnon bunch? The answer to that is the opposite. No, we are not going anywhere. Matter of fact, we will assist the movement. We will assist the re-election campaign of the president by taking out the trash for all you. So check out the latest QAnon drop. And we have some really, 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 really good ideas that are taking place outside of our particular silo that they will not be able to trace back to us, that Q will be tripped up again. The Q peeps will be tripped up again because they will take the bait because they're not smart people. So, but the MAGA Coalition work is not done. The MAGA Coalition work is not done. Please continue to DDoS our website. Keep trying to do that. We'll see, because we've got that thing set up as a honeypot so that we can link back some of these IPs that are coming at us. Believe me, what we see now is really basic bitch shit. It is not. There are no anons involved. 8chan is not attacking, as we know, thus far, is not attacking the MAGA Coalition website. No one with any technical skill, according to Glenn Herman and our provider, is actually doing anything other than typical standard bum rush traffic in to block disruption of service. So we're not going to stop doing what we're doing. We are MAGA Coalition, and we are smarter than you, Q. We are smarter than you, Q. Take this one for the road, kids. If you're going to file a complaint against a Federal Election Commission registered PAC, don't link the IRS, you morons. Don't link the IRS, you morons. Oh my God, you are so stupid. And you did it twice. And in between, you let Medic go on the air on a clip that cannot be erased, that's archived, using a threat and 8chan in the same sentence, which falls right into the Fed's wheelhouse. So I don't know if I'm going to get shot at. I don't know if the next, instead of the Gambino boss, it's going to be the MAGA Coalition boss getting shot in the middle of the street. Do you think that's a far stretch for the feds? When you go on air and you threaten 8chan anons to activate against people like myself and Sebastian Gorka, or anyone really. You can't link the fact that we are about a week out from 50 people getting slaughtered in the name of 8chan radicalization. You can't figure out that there's a guy sitting in New York right now spilling his guts to his lawyer about his obsession with Q, leading up to the death of the Gambino mob boss. You don't think they're going to be able to put two and two together on that one and say, well, sounded like a legitimate threat to take out Adam Gingrich, Ginger McQueen, Sebastian Gorka? Sounded like a threat to me. How dumb are these people? Take a look at the Q drops attacking the MAGA Coalition. If you can believe Q is real after reading that, I don't think you can be helped. I don't think you can be helped. The MAGA Coalition is not a big bad super PAC. The MAGA Coalition is Adam Gingrich, Ginger McQueen, and Glenn Herman. That's it. And a whole bunch of people who just rally behind us instead of Q. What's Q so afraid of? What are you so afraid of, Q? What do you have to hide, Q? Why are you attacking? Why are you dividing MAGA? What's in your closet, Q? Sound familiar?